Hello everyone, welcome back to the Granny Yoga YouTube channel. Today's practice is our counterbalance practice. It's a big favorite here in Southern Springs, a 55 and up community where I teach every single week. And when we gather together, we use a ballet bar in our studio for support and stability. So at home when we practice, we're going to use either a countertop or the back of a chair. The only prop that you're going to need is maybe grab a towel or a blanket, something just to support your hands as you lean against the corner of your counter. And you can come to this practice with or without shoes, but just make sure that you have something with a little bit of grip. So grab what you need, get a drink of water, and let's get started. Hello everyone. So welcome to the countertop practice. This is actually a borrowed kitchen, so extra special thank you to my Granny Lisa for allowing me to use her space. My kitchen at home doesn't have any pretty natural lighting and there's just children everywhere, and so I'm really grateful to have this nice, beautiful, quiet space to share this practice with you. So like I said, the only prop that you may want is a towel. I have this nice, beautiful bathroom towel here, and I'm just gonna lay it over the edge of my counter. And so as I'm kind of using the edge here for my practice, it just gives a little extra cushion to your hands. So to begin, we're just gonna find our spacing here, how we're gonna stand according to the countertop. Now you're gonna maybe notice during this practice that I'm a little long, and so I'm like way back here, but that's okay. So I'm gonna put my hands here on the counter. So find your, maybe on the edge here. And then I'm gonna step my feet back, keeping those hips stacked right over my ankles. Now, here's what we're looking for, all right? I have this length in my arms here, so I'm about that far away from the counter, but I can still wiggle my toes, right? I'm not leaning so much forward that my toes are gripping and I'm depending on them to not just face plant into the counter. I'm nice and rooted in my heels here. Okay, arms are long. And then I'm just gonna roll my hips forward and feel this nice flat back position. So you'll notice from my crown all the way to the heel, nice straight line, arms are nice and long. So kind of find this shape in your counter, in your space that you're practicing. Now I'm gonna have to be turning my neck just to talk to you and show you this class, but if you can put your iPad or find a place where you can practice with your gaze forward like this, because we're gonna get a full body stretch out, but I'd hate it if you got like a crick in your neck. Okay? So here we are, I'm gonna bring my gaze forward. I'm just gonna begin to bend through the knees and pedal it out. So I know I said you could wear shoes or no shoes, which is totally true. But one thing that's nice about being barefoot is you can really roll up on those toes and kind of stretch through the bottom of your foot and your Achilles. We're just gonna use this gentle motion to start our practice, just to kind of warm up, stretch out our calves, and bring a little bit of movement into our knees. In through the nose, sigh it out. Arrive with me here. Couple big breaths as you're getting started. Now we're already feeling a little bit of heat. We have this little contraction here in our bicep and our arm. One more big breath in through the nose and sigh it out. Excellent. We're gonna root through our feet, nice and heavy in our heels. And I'm gonna take a big breath, my next big breath, and I'm gonna lift the chin and open up through the throat and the heart. Inhale through the nose. And as you exhale, press yourself away and melt forward here. Now don't drop your head between your shoulders. Try to find this nice flat back. This is something that you'll just kind of feel that sensation in your body, a little figure 7 here. The breath really is the secret sauce as we find these shapes and we breathe into them. And here we're breathing down into our diaphragm, allowing the rib cage to expand side to side. And with our arms having this big reach, we get that stretch through our shoulders and our side body. So dial your gaze down. Beautiful. And then I'm going to roll myself back up into this nice high plank. That's what we're going to call this flat back position, high plank. Beautiful. You can go ahead and take a couple pedals. Okay, a little more challenge for our arms here. I'm going to root through my heels and I'm going to bend my elbows, not out, but down. Okay, now you're going to be able to find your edge here. Maybe there is no bend for you today, and that is okay, right? Just hang here with me. That's wonderful. We're still having this contraction in our bicep. We're still building strength in our arms. But if you have a little space or a little bit of strength here that you can work with, pull yourself down. Now, we're not crunching the shoulders up towards the ears. Everything is melting down. And we're going to find our edge. So find where you're like, that's all I can do. And we'll hold it here. Keep your gaze down towards the counter. Neck is nice and long. And we'll hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Press yourself away. Send those hips back and melt the head down. Find that flat back position. And then maybe pedal out through the feet. Excellent. Tuck the chin here. So now we're going to let the head kind of melt between the shoulders. We're going to deepen that stretch in our back. Taking maybe 2, 3 breaths here to open up through your ribs. And just let the head be kind of heavy, creating that space, that length in the back of the neck. Alrighty, so the next inhale that we come to, we're going to tuck our chin and we're going to kind of roll ourselves all the way back up into this flat back position. And then pedal it out. This is one of those practices that the more you do it, the less that you have to watch me to follow along, because if you've done it more than one time, you'll know where we're going and you'll know how to do it, and it'll get a little bit more fun as you continue to come back to this practice. I think the first time, if you're kind of straining to see or you don't know what we're doing, it can feel a little bit cumbersome, but stick with it, I promise. There's gold here. Okay, I'm gonna root through my feet here, and I'm gonna lift up through this back foot. Now, in class where I teach, we really extend this leg out long, but I'm a little limited on space today, so I'm gonna bring that maybe another time. But just lift up through that left foot. Let's do the left side first, okay? Join me, left foot, all right? Left foot comes up and then just steps forward right here in front of you. So knees stacked over ankle, and as soon as that foot plants, you're gonna feel that stretch down the back of that leg. Now, hips and shoulders are dialed forward. We're gonna connect with our balance by just pulling the belly in just a little bit, and when you're ready, sweep those arms up. If you feel a little wobbly here, it's okay. We're going to challenge our balance just a little bit further by bringing our gaze up to the ceiling. And inhale. Exhale, pull the shoulders away, like open up the arms like you're holding a big beach ball. Exhale all the way out. Great. You're going to float the hands back down to the countertop. Gorgeous. And I'm going to take my left hand here, left side, right, nice and forward, little core connection, and I'm going to bring my gaze with me as my hand comes up and back. So notice here how we're having this deep twist in the torso, shoulders opening, gaze is in the back. Now, this is pretty intense, and so maybe you're only finding you're allowing your arm is only coming to here, right? It's not, this isn't happening for you. That's okay. That's all good. Just be where you are and take a big breath in that space. I accept where I am today. Beautiful. Wind that hand back up and over to your countertop. Left hand meets the mat. I'm going to press away and plant through that left foot, pedal it out. Excellent. All right, let's do the right side here. So planting through the feet, and again, we can just lift up through that right foot and step it up. So now we're really getting that like hip to ankle stretch here on the left side. Making that little connection here with our balance, with our center. I'm going to sweep my arms up. Maybe challenge yourself a little by taking your gaze up towards the ceiling. I don't want to pull my arms back behind my ears. I kind of want to keep the shoulders wrapped around to the front. Beautiful. Inhale, reach. Exhale, open up. Alrighty, let's float that back down. I'm going to keep my left hand here planted for stability. And again, right hand comes forward and I'm going to lift it up and over and take it to the back. Just a few breaths here. I'm breathing down in, up and down into my torso. I have this nice long straight spine and I'm kind of twisting my body around it, and then I'm using my breath to stretch and create space from the inside out. All right, here we go. Wind that hand back around, plant here on the counter. Gorgeous. And I'm going to step it back, pedal it out. All right, rooting through the heels here. Next breath that you come to, inhale, open through the chin and the heart. Really stretching through, creating that space here in the front. And exhale, send the hips back and melt the head between your shoulders this time. We're going to take it just a little deeper. Now when you land here, you can find something that works for you. Maybe just stillness feels really great in your back and in your shoulders. Maybe you want to try to pedal it out. Maybe bending through both of the knees. You can kind of experiment with how that feels. So find a gentle movement that really hits the spot for you. Excellent. We're all going to meet right here. Nice flat back. One nice big breath. Opening up the space between each vertebrae. And then bring yourself forward and upright into this nice high plank. Amazing. Okay. This time, I'm going to start with the right side. I'm just going to come off that right foot and I'm going to step it up again. All right. So knees over ankle. And then I'm going to look at this back foot and I'm going to rotate on this back foot. So imagine that there was a line here that ran from your heel to your arch, okay? That's the alignment that we're gonna use. I'm gonna keep my right hand here for stability, and I'm gonna open up my hips to the side. Here we go, right? Little warrior two for our base. Now, if you wanna experiment with those arms out to a T, if you feel steady in your balance, you can do that, but also you can just keep your hand here, right? We'll create a little length on this left side by reaching through our fingertips. And then here we go. Here's what we're going to do. Come all the way up, big reach, big stretch, hip to wrist here, nice straight line. And then I'm going to take it over, adding a little extra bend into that knee. But you're going to notice here this full side body stretch. Nice, beautiful line between my wrist all the way down to my ankle, and then breathe. You can drop your gaze down towards the counter. And then wind yourself back up. I'm going to let this left hand float right down to my left leg, and I'm going to reach the right arm up, straight up, and then a little reverse here and over. So you'll feel that right hip to shoulder, nice opening on the right side. You can keep your gaze fixed forward. You can drop it down to your foot. No rush here. We're just going to hold this shape, breathe into the side body. Beautiful. And then I'm going to bring that right hand right back down to the countertop. I'm going to bring my left hand up and over and come back to the square. I'm going to rotate on that back foot, press away, find that high plank. Excellent. Alrighty, let's do the other side here. So I'm going to step that left foot up, right? And then I'm going to just peek down and rotate on that right foot. I have this line here, heel to arch. And then I'm going to dial that right hand open. Excellent. Beautiful. Okay, so inhale, come straight up and over. Notice here if this shoulder, if you're kind of like hugging that shoulder up, see if you can create some space by dropping that left shoulder, opening up that space between the ear. Alrighty, wonderful. I'm going to float that hand back down, and I'm going to take this left side, come straight up, and reverse. So I'm using those breaths. I'm opening up. I'm breathing into the left side body, creating opening up the muscles between each of my ribs here. Again, maybe dial your gaze down to the floor, create a little space, dropping that shoulder. Amazing. And then I'm going to bring that left hand down to the countertop, swing the right one up, back, and bring that foot back. Well, and rotate, rotate. Lots of things happening here. Meet me in the high plank, shall we? Pedal it out. Gorgeous. All right. Nice and rooted here in the feet. I'm going to step that right foot up again. Okay, right foot comes. So here we're back to where we started, this little warrior one. And I'm going to straighten through this front leg here. And I'm just going to kind of hinge from my hips. So my upper body is nice and flat. I'm hinging here from my hips. Use the counter for support. You're going to feel this stretch all the way down the length of that right leg. I don't want to rush this. Opening up the backs of the legs, the hamstrings and the calves. We just want to give it some time and space. Excellent. Now to come out of this stretch, I'm going to kind of lift off on that back foot and I'm going to step up to the counter, nice and strong. Just a little moment for some balance. Kind of challenging that right hip here. And then bring that foot back down. Excellent. Now, to do the other side, I'm gonna lift up the right foot, find that balance here. And then I'm just gonna step it back. Now remember, we're gonna put this little bend here in our knee. Both feet come flat with the floor. So wherever your space, maybe your space is here, maybe it's back just a little bit, but find your base. And then straighten through that front leg. Nice tall upper body. And then I'm just gonna hinge from the hips. Beautiful. In through the nose, out through the nose. Come back to those full body breaths. Notice that you have a little bit of length here in the back of your neck. My gaze is down towards the floor. You can have yours right at the countertop, but I don't want you to be like this, okay? I understand if you need to look at the or like this. I understand if you need to look at the video, but once you find the shape, try to drop your gaze down and have a nice long spine here. Okay, now to transition out of here, I'm going to press it away from the counter, step that back. Awesome. Now, if this practice feels a little bit challenging for your wrists and your shoulders as we're kind of supporting ourselves on our upper body here in this shape, just close the gap. All right, you can come here. There's not any pressure. I'm rooted in my heels. There's no pressure in my arms and shoulders, and I can do the whole thing from here as well. So if this posture isn't supporting you, make an adjustment that feels right. Okay, excellent. So anyways, we're all gonna step right up here towards the counter. Again, just a little bit of space. And I'm gonna bring my feet a little bit wider than hip width. Okay? Now, I'm gonna just kind of gently bend through it. I'll turn around and show you. So you stay at the counter. I'm gonna face you to kind of show you. I'm just a little bit wider here than hip width. Use the counter for support. Just a little bit of bend in the knee here. Getting this inner thigh stretch from side to side. So using the counter. Maybe it feels good just to kind of rock back and forth here. Create a flow. Or maybe you'd rather just kind of hold. And switch to the other side. So it's up to you to find that stretch. Beautiful. I'll see you right here facing the counter. Hip width apart. Now I'm just going to dial my heels in just a little bit, nice and tall in the spine. We're going to practice squat, so bear with me. I know squat can be really challenging for a lot of people, but it's so important to practice just to find your edge, just to work with where you are. So maybe this is you today, that's okay. Let's come back up. Beautiful. Draw your hips back down, maybe coming a little bit farther. And then press yourself back up. All right, third time, let's find our edge. Find where you can go no farther. Some of you might be able to fully drop your hips all the way down and end up here. So if this is you, come join me here in this deep squat. And then press yourself back up, okay? So if you found your edge here, I want you to come with me, meet your edge one more time. Come down as far as you can. Maybe this is it, this is all good. Find where you are. 2 breaths. And then press yourself all the way back up. Amazing. We're going to step that back and kind of pedal it out. Awesome. So that is our beginning counterbalance practice. We have a lot more moves that I want to share with you, so we'll do more than one counterbalance in time. I'll throw them out here and there. They're really a lot of fun. There's a lot of different things that we can do using our counters for support, practicing our balance and our hip strength. So thank you so much for joining me. It's been such a joy to stretch and breathe together. The love and light in me sees and honors the love and the light in each of you. Namaste.